Hey guys, what's up? DEK here with DEK Star Wars and the DEK Review Show. And we're here to talk about another episode of The Mandalorian. This is going to be Season 2, Episode 12. This is about 30 minutes, give or take a couple. That's if you don't count the end credits and if you don't count the little recap and stuff like that. So this is going to be spoiler filled. So that's your warning. Now, this is a pretty good episode. This is pretty badass. There's a lot of lore in this episode. Okay, so the episode starts off with the Mandalorian in his beat up Razor Crest from right after he took off that the moon of Trask, possibly the whatever place he was with the Mon Cala and all that shit. So he's got the nets and everything hanging from his stuff. Alright, so this is a bunch of baby stuff in this episode. It's cute as always. The child is doing more now. So he's actually becoming more of a crew member. So we start off with, he's on this ship, and he's trying to reconnect wires. Except Mando's not doing it, the child is. So the child's in this little like cubby far back, and the Mandalorian is explaining, oh, it's, you know, put the blue wire where the red wire was, put the red wire where the blue wire was, but don't let them touch. And the baby's like looking at it, and then he puts the blue wire back, and he's like, no, put the red wire where the blue one was. And the baby looks at it again, and he starts putting them closer together, and Din Djarin's like, no, don't touch him, don't. And he touches him, and he gets electrocuted. He's okay. He didn't die. But kind of cool little moment. And the ship's in ill repair. He cannot get to Ahsoka in the ship. So he has to go back, and this is an episode directed by Carl Weathers. So Carl Weathers' character is in this, along with Cara Dune. So on this planet, they've kind of changed stuff. So Cara Dune is the marshal, and the other dude is keeping track of like books and stuff like that. So they're doing this stuff on this planet, and everything is a peace zone. Well, he lands, and they say, yeah, fix up his ship, you know, all that stuff. And then they take care of the kid and all that stuff. So there is one lady. She looks like the same species as the one from Squadrons. One of the rogue squadron members. With like the eyes kind of on the side of her head, kind of bulged out. I don't know her species off the top of my head. But she looks back at Mando with a weird look. You know something's going on there. But that's going to have to wait. Okay, so they take the child and they put him in school. And Mando's like, no, I have to go where he goes. And they're like, no, trust us. You don't want that. Let him stay in school. So the child's in school. Mando goes, and he goes to Karin, the other dude, and he finds the guy from, I think, the first episode of Season 1. The blue dude that he froze in kryptonite. And he's like, yeah, I'm letting him pay off his debt. He's got 350 years, 360 years total. So I was like, alright, so we're going to go ahead and let him pay off his debt. Alright, that's cool. Now, the catch is there's an Imperial weapons facility running on a skeleton crew. It's mostly abandoned, but there's a skeleton crew there, and they want it to be destroyed, and it's over in the lava lakes area. So Mando accepts. He goes on this thing. Because they say they just want to destroy all the weapons. They don't want to sell on a black market. They want the planet to be free. So Din Djarin agrees. Din Djarin knows a lot about this stuff. So they go and they bring the blue dude who's complaining the entire fucking time. I thought he was going to do something against the Mandalorian, but he didn't. He was, I guess, well behaved. So they get to this place and they find out that there's a lot of stormtroopers and it's not abandoned whatsoever. Well, they're going in, they sabotage this so the lava is going to overflow and all that stuff, and they start shooting all these things. they find two, like, I guess, officers, and they say, destroy the reports, don't let them see it. And they're shooting the reports. And they take those two guys out, and they look over, and there's a bunch of vats of deformed humans, deformed creatures. And they ask the blue guys, like, find out what's going on. And he goes over there and he finds out. And the doctor from season 1, the Commonian cloner that had the child, comes up in a hologram and says, Moff Gideon, we ran out of blood. We no longer have the child's blood. And we put the child's blood mixed with other species. And it's not working. These clones or these mutations are killing the subjects. So they're trying to make this like superhuman army, it sounds. Like they're not really trying to clone the child, but it does sound like they're trying to put the child's DNA into soldiers, possibly for them to have force sensitivity. Because he said that he needs more DNA from the child since they ran out, or a subject with a high M count. Now, I'm thinking the M count is probably the midichlorian count. You would know this if you've watched the prequels. Qui-Gon Jinn talks about it a lot. Anakin Skywalker had the most midichlorians of any Force user. And the midichlorians is the Force. So they said they don't have a high M count, so that leads to blank. They're talking about a midichlorian count. And that's why, if you don't know, the Yoda species is one of the species that has the greatest, if not the greatest, midichlorian count, aside from like Anakin Skywalker. Anakin Skywalker is the exception to the rule. He had more than Yoda. But second would be Yoda, and Yoda's species like Yaddle and so on and so on. So that's definitely got to be like the midichlorian count. Now, on top of this, Din Djarin says, like, oh, well, it's got to be a mistake. It's got to be an old message. Moff Gideon is dead. I shot his TIE fighter down. But the message is three days ago. So Din Djarin knows, oh shit, I gotta get back to the child who's in the school. Now, switch back over to the school. The child is sitting there, all the kids are laughing. A protocol droid, is the same as like C-3PO. C-3PO is a protocol droid, is teaching the class, and they tell them to settle down because they're laughing. And the child, this kid is eating like blue Nola wafers. And the child's like, oh, well, I want those. And he's like whining and trying to get them. And the kid's like, no. And he looks back at the teacher. The child uses his force to get the cookies. The child looks over and he's just eating the cookies. Something is like, ooh, is this going to be bad? Does the kid know he have force abilities now? Because the kid sort of looks like, you know, he could be a kid of the Empire. Possibility. Because, I mean, they don't see the child with the Mandalorian, but we'll get to that. Okay, so there's a chance that they have that child is related to Moff Gideon or the Empire. Now back at the base, they tell Mandalorian is like, he's like, I gotta get the kid. They're like, use your jetpack, go get him. So he does that. The other three try to escape. They have less than 10 minutes to go before lava overflows this entire building, this base. But yeah, they figured out it's not a military base. It is a lab, a cloning or some type of genetic lab. Now, they steal like one of these very expensive black market ships, Empire ships. They talked about when they first got here, like, oh, you could sell this for a lot, and they're like, no, we're going to destroy it. But they end up having to take it to escape, and they ramp off the side, and 400-foot drop to the bottom, and landed on the speeder that they came, the blue guy's speeder. This entire time, the guy knocked off like 180 years off his 350-year sentence, which to fulfill his sentence, he's running the books for Carl Weathers. So he's doing all this stuff, and they're escaping. There's these bike speeders coming up. 3 bike speeders. They kill one of them. The other 2 goes on the sides of the ship. One starts shooting in. One is getting on top of it. Cara Dune rams the ship into the side of the mountain to kill that one dude who's shooting in. The other guy is standing on top with a grenade. No one knows where he is. And then Carl Weathers swings the turret over and shoots him in the back. Very close, because he had the armed grenade and he had the hatch. So he had that stuff, so they took over him. But then 3 TIE fighters came. And that's where stuff got dodgy. They were trying to dodge all that stuff. Carl ended up getting one of them down. I don't know his name in the show. I forgot. But he shoots one down. Unfortunately, it's coming at him. So he has to duck and cover. The turret gets blown off. They go into the open. They're no longer in the lava lake area. And all this stuff is happening. Well, it looks kind of bad for them. Until one blows up. Razor Crest coming in to save the day. And yes, the Mandalorian is sitting there in the Razor Crest with the child. So that he did get to the child on time. So they got the child, and he's shooting all these TIE fighters down. And Carl was like, "What do I owe you?" He's like, "Well, what the repair's called even." And he's like, "Oh, well, I'll at least buy you a beer." He's like, "Can't. I've got to go. Got work to do." Baby Yoda's throwing up blue cookies all over his fucking shirt. Gotta fix that shit. So he's flying off. This is where it goes into a New Republic. I believe it's one of the ones that was with that pulled the Razor Crest before. So he's like, "All right, explain what happened and all that stuff to Carl." Carl's explaining. He's like, "All right, was this before or after the Razor Crest?" And he's like, "I didn't say anything about the Razor Crest." And he's like, "No, the transponder." He's like, "Transponders don't matter. The droids get it wrong all the time. There was no Razor Crest." And he's like, "I don't know about that." And he's like, "If something comes up, we'll let you know." And he walks out to Cara Dune, and he says, "We could really use your help. You need to fight for the Republic." And it's like, we really need the help of local people. Something's going on in the Outer Rim, and we can't stop it if we don't know about it. And he says to Cara Dune, is like, "It says in the report you are from Alderaan." And he asks, "Did you lose anyone?" And she says, "Everyone." So he says, "I'm sorry for your loss." And then he sets a gold New Republic badge on the table while she's feeding her squirrel and walks off. And she just looks at the badge, look at him, feeds the squirrel, and then just kind of looks into the I guess, distance. So there's probably going to be something there. Is Cara Dune going to stay the marshal of this planet that they have safe now? Or is she going to go to the New Republic? Or perhaps this is something different because she might find the rebels responsible. We don't know. We know they're all against the New Republic in the Outer Rim. Carl said himself, they should not be here. The Empire couldn't take the Outer Rim. What makes them think they can? And then it flashes into a, I guess, Star Destroyer, or similar to a Star Destroyer, Moff Gideon ship. So you got an admiral come in. The fish-eyed lady mechanic came up on the hologram and said, "We have the tracker on the Razor Crest." I was like, okay. I knew it. I fucking knew it. She was up to no good. So now they can track Din Djarin, and he has no idea. And Moff Gideon asks, is the asset with him? You know, the child. And he says, she said, "Our reports confirm that the asset is on board." So that's where it's like, well, hold on, because the ships didn't see the child. Mandalorian didn't have the child on the base. So my report is, what if the kid that the child took the cookies from is an Spike is 3D. I don't know. It's not played by, those kids. Because he kind of looks like he could be like a Moff Gideon's son or something. Who knows? He saw the kid. He could have been the one that's like, oh yeah, the child's there. And then confirmed it that way. I don't know anyone else that would have. Unless if the fish also saw the child when he had it in his arms. That's a possibility. I honestly kind of think I want the kid to be involved. I want it to be like this thing where it's like, this kid is mad about his cookies. And he's going to the Empire to stop the kid who stole his cookies. Screw that kid! That kind of shit. That'd be fun. Why not? So yeah, I think that's what I want to happen. Bring the kid back, make him all this stuff. Moff Gideon turns around, and he's got this like Darth Vader like suit on, but it's kind of glossy and smooth, I guess. It's not all bulky. And he turns, and there's tons of them. Probably like 12 on each side, 24, something like that. And they have full suits. So they're kind of like TIE pilot suits, but mixed like Darth Vader style. So it's kind of a weird, I don't know, like a super soldier. Not sure what this is. I think it'll be really cool to find out. This could be some type of Inquisitor, I'm thinking, because they do have like that Vader-esque kind of suit. We don't see him I don't think we see him in the further, the sequel trilogy. I don't think we see him there. But they do have this new suit. They might be, I guess, infected or used the child's DNA with theirs. So they could be force sensitive that way. So they could be like a mix of human and Yoda species. That makes them force sensitive, super soldiers kind of thing. Was also wondering, because Moff Gideon seems like that type, he might be infected with that as well. So he might be a force user, trained Empire, with the Darksaber, with mixed Yoda species blood. We got to find out. So we also got to find out why he has the Darksaber. We know Bo-Katan is looking for it and hunting Moff Gideon down. Now we know Din Djarin is running from Moff Gideon. So this is a really packed episode. The next episode, episode 5, is actually going to be directed by Dave Filoni. Very good. Now, Dave Filoni was in the Spider episode. He was a rebel, a Republican pilot. And everyone's saying this. That is the episode that he's directing. If you don't know, he did Clone Wars and all these other things. Ahsoka is basically his character. Ahsoka's coming next episode. That's basically confirmed. Will Dave Filoni give Ahsoka to another director? I don't think so. I think he wants to do that. Like, that's his character. That's going to be, like, he knows what he wants. He knows how he wants it portrayed. So I think that's going to be the episode that he comes in. We're going to see Ahsoka Tano. We're going to see the new place. This is going to be epic. We might see Sabrine. I'm not sure. The rumors were that the other girl was going to be Sasha Banks. But she is, in fact, a Mandalorian with Bo-Katan, one of the 3 that were in the other previous episode. So we don't know if Sabine's going to be in this. We do know Ahsoka Tano is, Rosario Dawson, and I'm looking forward to hopefully next episode being that one. That's going to be really, really amazing. We're going to see what this is going in. Overall, this is a great episode. I don't want to keep giving these episodes a 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. They kind of deserve it, though. Like, this is a great fucking series. So I'm going to do this. I want it to be longer. I want it to be around 40 minutes an episode. It's not. It's about 35, 33. But it's a full story, right? except I want to see more. I want to see more. I want to see more about the lore in the cloning stuff and that stuff like that. It's a really good episode though. You know, because of the length and just a couple other things, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. Holy shit, I recommend this. If you haven't watched any of this, what are you doing? Get Disney Plus. If you haven't watched this, and you obviously don't have Disney Plus, get it for free. You get like 2 weeks. 2 weeks. You can watch all 8 episodes of season 1. You can watch all 4 episodes so far of season 2. You need it? Do it. And because it's 2 weeks, you'll also get next week's episode. Do it. But then again, you can afford $7. Do it. Do it. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, hit that subscribe, and comment down below what you think is going to happen. What do you want? What is your theories? Let me know. Let's have a talk about it down in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you all later. May the force be with you. Always. Peace.